One, two, three. Right, so we're now live broadcasting live from Milton Keynes. Please do not swear. So hello everybody. It's great to see so many of you here. Actually, to be honest, I thought a couple of people. So I think most of you know me here. So my name is Bea de los Arcos. I am a researcher on the OER Research Hub, which is based here at the Open University, the Institute of Educational Technology, Milton Keynes, and basically the team in the OU in the UK. When that would you? Okay, doesn't matter. So we're taking over from Fred and Robert and the team in the OU in the Netherlands in terms of coordinating the GOGN. So the reason for calling this meeting was, I mean, because we talked to some of you already in Banff when we were there, but it was very much to, it's also to give anyone who couldn't be present at the meeting in Banff in April, so to give everyone the chance to, come in, say hello to us, and also share whatever your expectations of what the GOGN has done for you in the last few years. Just share experiences and share expectations. So the way we're gonna do it. So I'm here with Martin and Rob Farrow. So we are part of the UK team. We've got Fred as well with us from the OU team in the Netherlands. So what we're gonna do, I mean, we can do a quick introduction, quick brief introduction from everyone if you want, and then Martin's gonna give a short presentation, and then we'll open the floor and talk about anything really you want to talk about. How, I mean, for us, it's the interesting thing is to see how the GOGN has been for everyone so far, and how can we move things forward? How can we continue support you, continue the work that Fred and colleagues have done, but also how we can grow the network. So I'll pass it on to you. Do you know how we're gonna do it? We could move from. Okay, I'll share it. So I said, okay, Bernard, you want to say a few words? Say hello.
So you passed the floor to me, right?
Yeah, just say who you are.
Okay. So my name is Bernardo Yugati. I'm doing my PhD at the Bernardo Yugati is my name. So I'm doing my PhD at the University of Leicester. I'm researching opening up higher education in Rwanda with the focus on the potential contribution of massive open online courses, open educational resources, and different stakeholders. So I'm now currently based in Rwanda, where I'm doing my field work, and probably till the end of, towards the end of July. That's it.
Okay, thanks very much. Dimitra, do you want to say hello?
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Dimitar Popovsky. I'm a librarian that works in Macedonia. Currently, I left Finland. I've been traveling a lot because I need to earn some money because the salary is low here. So I was doing a PhD at the University of Zagreb without a master's degree. So I got like 120 European credit transfer system credits. And then I transferred to Open University, where I started the PhD. And I was in Ljubljana, then I met most or some of you. And after that, I didn't have the time, maybe, or the motivation or whatever, to start the PhD because I changed the subject. The subject was, we spoke with Professor Mulder at that time, about innovation and open innovation in MOOCs and OERs. So it was a very, I would say, basic idea to do some kind of a study with the UNESCO OER experts or the chairs, and then try to find the global innovation on a global scale, which will probably take a lot of time, even to write the research proposal. So at the moment, I'm in Macedonia, and as most of you probably know online, I'm looking for various kinds of jobs. But that's something like not connected to the PhD. I'm the designer of the GOGN logo, if that means something. That's all.
Okay, thank you. I was just trying to grab a link to be able to share with anyone who just wants to watch. So I'll try and do that while you're still talking. I don't know. Fred, you want to say hello?
You were asking me, right?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Very nice welcome to all of you. I know all of you in this session, and we've met before, and I'm quite happy once again that we could transfer the GOGN to the OUK with a very good team, with Martin coordinating, and with Bea and Rob, of course, in support. And it's the best landing place I ever thought about. So we are happy with that, and be sure that I will remain involved with GOGN in another role. And the same would be true for Robert, of course. And so we are lucky, I think, to have this change for all of you, and I'm quite satisfied that the OUK is so much engaged already into the GOGN. And I'm looking forward to your comments on what we should add to GOGN services, and I think that's the main part of the agenda for today. So thank you very much, Bea.
As not everyone can join in the thing, Bea, should we move on with a quick presentation just to kind of set the scope, and then we can get people's feedback for, as Fred said, the kind of direction and yeah. Does that sound good?
That's super. I have just tweeted the link as well for people if people just want to watch instead of And they
should be able to join in the text chat, I think then. Yeah. So we're slightly playing around with this and seeing which application is best. So I'm going to try screen share now. Let's see what happens. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Good. So you've all got a quick presentation. So I mean, a lot, of course, you know the background to GoGN, but I thought I'd try and make this little case about why it's ended up where it is now. So as you know, Fred had UNESCO OER chair, and the GoGN was the project under that, and he worked with Robert and Jos at OUNL, funded by Hewlett to get up and running. And I think that, I mean, to give a kind of shorthand, I think that the aim of GoGN is to help develop research expertise in the OER field. And so it does a number of functions. So we get students together annually, usually at the OE Global Conference, arrange joint supervision between experts in the group, develop an online community, and for those PhD students who become members, help develop their skills and expertise in different areas. And so really this coming together is like a, if you watch all the logos at the bottom, they're all kind of like merging together now. So Rob, Bea and I work on the OER Research Hub, which is also Hewlett funded. And so we've been looking for the past 3 years at 11 hypotheses which are based around sets of beliefs people have around OERs. And this is based at the OU in the UK. So our aim was to develop research in the OER field. So there's a very similar set of aims between both projects, I think. And our functions were to conduct research, but also to build research capacity. We had a fellowship scheme going. We had a kind of larger aim, which is really, when we pitched about the project, we were saying that OER's been around for just over 10 years now. There isn't much really good quality research in the field. A lot of it is often stated as kind of just projects. We're going to do this and it will have these benefits, without people really examining the real impact and doing proper research. So we really want to kind of raise the profile of the need for OER research in this field. So this has kind of led to a merger. So as Fred mentioned, he's retired from OUNL, which left GoGN in need of a new home, really. And at the same time, OER Research Hub, the funding for this phase ends at the end of July, and we're entering a new phase. We'll talk about that. So it was quite timely for all these things to kind of come together, really. So as Baz mentioned, at the OU, so I'm the academic lead in the project, and Rob and Bao will be acting as coordinators, and Natalie Eggleston, who some of you might know, will be doing the project management. So future directions, kind of in big pictures. So we had funding from Hewlett to cover this year, which is really to cover the Banff conference, and we should be able to go to some funding for next year, which will cover OE Global Conference and ongoing activity. So we had a conversation with the Hewlett Foundation last week. One of the things we'd like to do, and this was partly based on feedback from the people we spoke to in Banff, was to increase the online activity. People felt there was kind of a bit of not much happening in between a lot of the kind of main face-to-face seminar, to try and get a bit more online activity happening, sort of webinars regularly and chats and things, and also move it to being more of a peer supported network, so people are helping each other. At the same time, the OER Research Hub is sort of slightly broadening its scope, so it's not just looking at OERs, it's going to become the Open Research Centre, looking at different aspects of openness. So I've had a conversation in the team, so Rob, Bayer and I, and we've been thinking the sort of things we want to do immediately. So we've taken over the website, the Ning site from Robert. There's not a lot of activity in the website, so we've been wondering about how we might get that going. And our first thoughts is that actually most people exist in Facebook, and so we'll create a Facebook page and perhaps use that for much more of the ongoing regular conversation, because if that's a space you're going to regularly, then you're much more liable to jump in rather than to go somewhere else. We'll create a WordPress site for the GOGN site, and the benefits of a WordPress site are that it will allow us to get people to come in and be guest bloggers, and those bloggers will be much more, those blog posts will be much more searchable by Google and have a kind of a greater presence than you get currently through Ning, with the kind of hidden down in comments. So I think there's a kind of website stuff to do. I would like to arrange a series of webinars based around topics, whether it's just like interesting research in OER or particular aspects of doing a PhD that are relevant, or getting students themselves to come in and talk about areas of expertise. So we'd like to kind of get regular seminars coming so people feel that there's a kind of online presence. One of the things that Hewlett mentioned was that there are no US students on GOGN at the moment, and so we'd like to rectify that. So we're going to connect with some of the open education research groups out in the US, and hopefully get to come on board and sign up for GOGN. So the idea is to expand the GOGN network as well. We've been normally given a goal of doubling the number of members in the next year, I think. But at the same time, still kind of retaining that central focus of it. So I think that's it for me. So I'll stop sharing, and then I don't know if Robert would like to come in now. Sorry, is Robert here? No. I don't know if Fred would like to come in then with any comments on that, or things that I may have glossed over quickly. I didn't want to give a full kind of history of GOGN. I think most of you know it. So that's our kind of thoughts at the moment. So I'll ask Fred to come in, and then if anyone's got any comments on directions, suggestions for things you might do, how you think about those directions, and that, we can open the floor up then. Does that sound good?
Well, Martin, I don't think I need to give much comment, because I think what you're saying is what is needed for GOGN, as we have observed before in the meetings in Banff and also in Washington. So I think it's very good to get more activity around the portal, and also in between the seminars. So I think that's important to increase, and also for the GOGN members, it's good to know that we have a meeting very soon in Milton Keynes to finalize, let's say, the transfer of GOGN from OUNL to OUK, where we do the fine-tuning around everything, and that I think goes all very well. And I think the best thing is to hear from the GOGN members, and I saw some joining us quite recently. I see Felix also there. Good to see you, and other people. So please go ahead and give your comments on what Martin has said, and I'm in full support, of course, what this presentation gave to us, and I think it's important to make GOGN more vital, more interactive, and that's, I think, the major message that he's giving us. So please go ahead. Bea, maybe you should take over the chairing and ask people to respond, or?
Yes, that's absolutely fine. Yes, just to kind of emphasize what Martin just told us. You know, we so far. I mean, I know the GoGN has been great for everyone, or I hope has been great for everyone. But, you know, because you guys were only kind of seeing each other face to face. You know, the lucky ones who had a chance to go to the face-to-face meeting. That's fantastic. What we want to do is just kind of keep it going during the year. So we're going to be doing that online, basically. But we need your input, right? So you can't just expect to be sitting there and saying, "Oh, yeah, what can I do for the GoGN?" No, you need to kind of go and do it. So please, I mean, you all have the GoGN, the Gmail account. Well, there'll be more means to kind of communicate with us, not just from the members to the coordinating team, but also from members to members. And let's have this as a nice community. So again, I invite comments or questions. Both, I'll try and keep an eye on the chat. But if anyone has any comments or any questions, or yes. So the question from Gino. The portal is currently, is there a new version coming? What we're looking to do is just migrate. It's not going to happen immediately, right? But we were hoping to have, as Martin said, like a Facebook group for kind of the interaction with the community, amongst the members of the community, and then have a WordPress site better than the Ning as that face-looking part of the community besides the Twitter account and all that. So yeah, so we're not going to we'll phase out the NIN hopefully little by little towards Facebook and a WordPress site. What do you think of that? Yeah, no, so Dimitri says, what about people who don't have Facebook like myself? I don't have Facebook either. Maybe Twitter chat once a month. Yes, of course, we'll try and use us as, we want to impose everyone. If you don't want to use Facebook, you don't have to. Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dimitri, actually. One of the things I'd like to explore is, am I talking?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry. Yeah, so one of the things I'd like to explore is, I don't know if any of you have seen on Twitter, people, there's a group called PhD Chat, and they just use the hashtag PhD Chat, and I think they meet every Wednesday night or something at a specified time to discuss certain topics, just using that hashtag. And I think we might explore doing a similar thing. So I'd like to try and explore us having our conversations where people are, rather than trying to get them to come to another site which you always forget to go to and stuff. So so we mentioned Facebook just because lots of people there, but I think, yeah, Facebook, Twitter, both of those, be happy to try and explore, I think, and see which one works the best.
Martin, can you please repeat the hashtag? I think that was PhD chat. Was that what you just mentioned, Martin?
Yeah, that's not us. That's just one that other people run. But I thought we might better do something like that. We could do GoGN chat or something, just so people can join in. So we'll when we start experimenting with that, we'll let everyone know.
One of the things that we're going to do, hopefully as soon as next week, is we'll send you a quick survey just to see what most of you are. So if see how many people are using Facebook, how many people have a Twitter account, what's your, how do you communicate with the world, what you would like to do. So so that way we'll have kind of a more general view of what you guys are doing normally. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments?
We'd like suggestions for possible webinars as well. So what would people find most useful? I mean, we could just kind of have regular ones on here's interesting stuff we've read this month, because it's part of our job to keep up in the field. So here's some interesting topics or issues that have come up this month. But we could have specific topics, So and they could be more general PhD ones, doing a good literature review or something like that, or writing up your thesis, or if students themselves want to have another thing we would quite like to do is give you the opportunity to practice presenting. So if you've got a presentation coming up, you can use the group to say, look, can I do a trial 10-minute presentation to the group about my topic, and as you can see, we can share the screen so you can do that presentation. So use it for that kind of development as well. But please, come forward with suggestions for topics, open textbook research, it might be, or learners with OERs, all that kind of stuff, whatever you think.
Yeah, another one of the ideas that we had over here was, as part of the webinars, we could maybe invite like somebody who's already established, as established researcher on a certain topic to a certain field, to give us to give a talk, for 20 minutes or whatever, and then invite everybody to come in. So we've got ideas, but we it's very much about sharing what we think, but also listen to what it is that you may want to do.
Bernard, do you have a question? Sorry, of course. Yeah. Grab the mic and ask away.
Right.
Hi, can you hear me? Or? Okay, so sometimes the concept of GOGN, is based on having two supervisors and sometimes expert supervisor in the GOGN network. But sometimes that idea is not well received by supervisor at student institutions. What can you advise on addressing that kind of conflict that tend to be created between the GOGN network and the student university, especially when it is not fully involved in the GOGN network?
Yeah, it's a very good point, Bernard, actually. I think as we come to expand the network, if we want to kind of double the number of people on here, I haven't made a decision on this, and we haven't discussed it in detail, but I think you're right to pick it out as an issue of tension, whether we will have to lessen on that need for a second supervisor. But I think it might be that you have more of a kind of OER expert, which I think is still it's the way it's set up. I think often people get nervous about the idea of having a supervisor who could be in conflict with their local institution. So I think having an assigned expert who can give you OER advice, but that's their kind of clearly defined role and nothing about kind of PhD writing or process and stuff. So it's to hopefully make it a bit less in conflict. I think when it works well, the two supervisor thing is brilliant, and it's a really good thing to do. Yeah. And often students are kind of isolated where they are, and so having that other supervisor is what allows them to do a PhD. So I think when we can offer that, I think that's a great thing to do. But I think as we expand the network, we might have to lessen on that requirement so much and make it more of a kind of mentor kind of role. I think that's my view at the moment. I don't know what others would think.
If I may, Martin, may I say something? Yeah, okay. So the idea was to support people, not to make it more difficult. So if there's a difficulty coming in, we should resolve that. And I know, Bernard, what you're referring to. And there's two other people within GOGN who have difficulty with this issue. In some cases, it is a kind of a stubborn attitude of the supervisor, where we could maybe even change the institution where the supervision is being done. I mean, I know one example where I have serious doubt whether the university who's delivering the PhD is the right place to go. But that's very exceptional. In most cases, it is also a misinterpretation of what we mean. Co-supervision is giving this idea of that there's a formal role, which we always try to explain, it's not a formal role, it's an informal thing. And in some cases, some universities accept a formal role, but in many cases not. And then Martin is completely right by referring to a mentor role rather than a supervision role. Maybe we should change the wording, and that could help maybe. But the idea, of course, is to support as much as possible to raise the quality of the supervision, of the mentoring. And I think that's the bottom line. And we are not aiming to make it more difficult, we're aiming to make it easier and better. So if there's something on the road which is blocking, we have to solve that. And Bernd, you know that we were also trying to solve your issue. So it's an important issue, but in my view, we can always find a good solution in any case. And so I fully agree with Martin's approach for the future. And I would just like to remember ourselves, it has never been our intention to make it more difficult. The intention has always been to support people as much as possible.
I think you're right, Fred. I think it might be a semantics thing. Perhaps people kind of, supervisor comes with a set of baggage, and so if you called it mentor or critical friend or something like that, then maybe that wouldn't come up against some of the, that wouldn't raise some of the kind of institutional reservations that people have about it. But I think you're absolutely right. The whole point is to be supportive and a good thing, and I think generally it is.
Yeah, I'm just reading Gino's comment on the chat, because the chat is not recorded, right? So Gino says this: there are quite a few support activities we could share with one another. In fact, for me, that is Gino, the most important opportunity is just to maintain the group factor in practice engagement. So it's awfully lonely working in my silo sometimes, which is true. I think is one of the things that we can. That's easy enough to sort out. I mean, if there's a commitment from you guys to be part of the network, and a commitment, from us to keep things going, then it's a win-win situation.
Hi.
Hey, Gino.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So hello to everyone. It's nice to see all of you. Just for your information, alongside me, come say hello. Look.
Hello, everyone. Igor here as well.
So yeah, I think that for me, I'm really excited about the switch over, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. But I'm also just aware that aside from what Felix is here, we have a lot of other people who've sort of been part of this group, and I'm really aware that we could lose some of these people who've been there and who haven't perhaps participated in the last 2 events or something like that. So I think that we also need to go out and sort of recover those people again. What's that sound? Is the sound back?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, but my concern is just like there's a lot of people like Dimitar's back here now, and it's nice to see that he's back in the group. But I think that we also need to make sure that people like Felix and Marta and other people are included in these engagements as well. So the Google Hangout is problematic. I think that other people might be trying to get online. So what can we do to include everyone in this discussion?
We can. You see, the Google Hangout, just to be honest, I'm delighted that you are all here, but I never expected that so many people were gonna turn up. There are other systems that we can use, so it's just for us to explore basically what's the best, what's the best way of bringing everybody in. I suppose we could have used Flash Meeting, which has been created in-house here at the Open University, and that's actually very easy to use. It was, again, it's probably my mistake. I honestly didn't expect so many of you coming in, so yeah, we'll sort it out. Adobe Connect is actually. Anyway, we'll look into it. Don't worry. We'll look into it and we'll have a better.
Yeah, and we've got a version of Blackboard Collaborate at the OU that we can sometimes use. It's more of a pain to set up than it should be. But I think so. Yeah, don't worry. We'll have something sorted. This was a bit of a test, I think. But I think yeah. But you're absolutely right, Gino. But I think partly by increasing the online activity and sort of resurrecting, if we can bring some of those people back in who maybe have sort of there's not been much happening, so we haven't seen much of them.
Yeah, and one of the things I would ask you to do, right, for our own benefit as well, is like I would ask you if you can to update your profiles in the name. I mean, some of you, you know, when you first joined the GOGN, there was a series of questions that you had to answer, and that basically is what makes up your profile. So do have a look when you have a minute. Have a look at it again and update it so that we know exactly who you all are, right? Because we don't really know at this stage. I mean, Fred and Robert will know, but we, like Martin, myself, and the other team members in the UK wouldn't necessarily know. Okay. Any more questions? Any more comments from anyone? Is there anything you would like to see more of, or is there something that's you know, what has the GOGN done for you so far that you couldn't live without?
Hello. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Vivian Vladimirsky. I'm from Brazil. I'm not going to turn my webcam on because my internet connection is not very stable today. Anyway, I'm a student at Athabasca University, and my supervisor is Rory Magriel. And unfortunately, I couldn't attend the band meeting this year because I had a lot of work here in Brazil. Anyway, I plan to now, during the next semester, start working on my proposal. And my proposal is focused on training K-12 teachers here, public school teachers, on how to use OER. So I think that these webinars and this connection with the GOGN group will be extremely helpful. I've just taken on, I have now a new co-supervisor who is Tela Miel, who I think you all know here in Brazil, and two great experts helping me here. But I think I would really enjoy watching webinars and information about OER in general. Anything that comes in our way helps. Techniques on how to train teachers, how to implement. I took the digital skills from OER University course. That was a fantastic course. I could share some of that with you as well. I have I had to open up a blog and so on and so forth. So I think that anything that comes our way and is helpful and just building and maintaining a community of inquiry and of support would be very helpful to us all. To all of us PhD students. So thank you for holding the session today.
Yes. Dalila, did you want to say something? Maybe that's a no.
Thanks anyway, Vivian. That was good to hear. That sounds great. I think you've got an interesting topic there and a good couple of supervisors. So yeah, that sounds. I hope we can be of use, and it'd be good to have your input as we go along.
If anyone, I mean, you all have the GOGN Gmail account because you all got an email from us, basically. But you know, use that Gmail account actually to send messages. So maybe you're a bit shy now, or you don't come up with an idea straight away. But if there's anything that you say that you could, how can you contribute, then send it our way. I mean, in the case of Vivian, it's great, Vivian, because the kind of work, the kind of research that I've been doing with the OER Research Hub is also related to K-12 in school. So I'll be you know, we could very quickly do something, some webinar together and invite everybody else. So yeah, so see, this you guys are doing such amazing things. We're always gonna find you know, ways ways to share with, I mean, with yourselves, but also with the rest of the world. So that's great. Let me see. Is there anything else? Right. What else? Anybody else? Any more comments? Any more?
So in summary, but anyone chip in if you've got other things. So we'll send a survey around next week. That's right, isn't it, Bayer?
Yeah.
We'll set up a Facebook page. Well, we'll send the survey round. If nobody uses Facebook, we won't bother with a Facebook page. But presumably we'll set up a Facebook page after that. Fred and Robert are coming to us at the Open University towards the end of July, and then we can go through everyone who's in the network. We'll develop a WordPress. Forgot the word there. A WordPress site by that time as well, I think. So do that, and we'll also then come forward with a proposed set of webinars and dates. But any topics you want to throw into that mix, please let us know. So I think that's the list of direct actions that we've promised so far. Is that right? Anything else? Oh, and we'll also, at some point after that, we'll also explore doing Twitter kind of scheduled chats and hangouts as well.
Yeah, may I make not a remark to what Martin said, but another remark that is to share with all of you that sometimes PhD researchers finish their PhD study, and of course it's a long way. And I would like to share with you that Bernardo is doing his defense on July the 10th, and he will certainly pass it. And we also received a mail from Anne August from Sweden. And Anne is doing her defense in the autumn, and it's good to know that we want to keep those alumni GOGN members on board as well. And sort of the first GOGN member that is doing his PhD defense is Bernardo, the 10th of July. Maybe you can send him a mail. And I think, Martin, you also have received his PhD dissertation as a hard copy. At least that's what he wrote me. And anyway, we should also mention these defenses on the GOGN portal, of course. And Bernardo is the first one, and I think will be the second one. I'm not sure, but I think she will be the second one. And we would like to create a mechanism to keep those alumni in a very specific role on board. And I would be happy to offer my support in doing this, because I'm an alumni GOGN coordinator, and I would like to offer my support in keeping the alumni in the right way on board. So just a suggestion is to send Bernardo a mail that wishing him all the best of luck during his defense on the 10th of July, and we'll see how we can proceed with the alumni, the GOGN alumni. Thank you.
No, that's a really good point. Thank you, Fred. I've been talking to Bernardo on email, and I think we should really celebrate, because we should be getting these coming through now, and any successes, and I think absolutely have those people involved. So yeah, maybe alumni becomes a particular status we have, but we need to have an online GOGN celebration party when he passes his defense. So no, that's great news. Yeah, thank you for raising that.
Okay, so again, from me, update. So if you get a chance, please update your profiles on the name, and any more suggestions, any comments that you have, you send them to us. I wrote the email there on the chat. If you're wondering, is that biscuit is actually me. I don't know why I have a biscuit as my avatar, but that's me. So it's gogn.oer@gmail.com. So any comments that you have, please send them to us. And if there's no more questions or no more comments, we'll just close the meeting.
Thanks very much, everyone, for coming in. It's really good to see so many people here. I think that shows that there's a good vitality to the network, and I know lots of people couldn't make it because of time differences and that, so that's really good. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you all for coming. It's great to see so many people. We'll definitely have a plan B for next time, so we can have more people talking. But yeah, thank you guys. It's been brilliant. Okay, I'll let you go. I'll let you go back to your lives. So it's good to see you all. Thank you very much. I'll stop the broadcast now.